Today, we will be discussing on a very critical matter, domestic violence. There are still much who don't know what it entails. It's an issue that needs to be dealt with seriously, just like the recent case of the deceased singer Osinachi, with a tag around her death caused by domestic violence. According to the following authors, Mess Kaplan, Buckley Bonnet, and Barry E. Brain, in their article titled Domestic Violence, they define it according to medical literature as the victimization of a person with whom the abuser has or has had an intimate, romantic, or spousal relationship. Domestic violence encompasses violence against both men and women and other forms of relationship. Hello and welcome to Rove Plus. Sometimes your partner apologizes and said hurtful behavior won't happen again, but you fear it will. At times you wonder whether you are imagining the abuse, yet the emotional or physical pain you feel is real. If this sounds familiar, you might be experiencing domestic violence. Although presently, there isn't a general statistics to show the data of the level of domestic violence in Nigeria. But according to the data from the Lagos State Domestic Sexual Violence Response Team, DSVRT, show that in 2021, the agency dealt with 2,584 domestic and sexual violence cases for adults, out of which women were the greatest victim with 2,349 cases. Just imagine Lagos State having such numbers compared to the nation as a whole. This on its own explains that the cases of domestic violence in Nigeria is high. According to Olaitan, author of the article titled The Manners of Domestic Violence, Improving the Lives of Women in Nigeria, in African Journal of Legal Studies, in her words said, the scourge of domestic violence as well as other forms of violence against women has eaten deep into the fabric of our society, creating a lopsided gender balance with the female gender being the greatest victim. Violence has taken different forms, ranging from sexual to physical and psychological as well as other forms. This degrades the humanity of women in our society. Abusive partners and perpetrators base their action on superior nature of the male sex, religion, law, custom, economic situation, family pressure, and their behavioral pattern. It is believed that lack of a legal framework universally enforced as well as lack of trained law enforcement officers promote the violence of women in Nigeria. The big question is there any national law handling the curbing issue of domestic violence? The answer is no. Quite disappointing, right? But a country as large and populated as Nigeria, the giant of Africa, if there isn't a national law, how then will this culprit be properly penalized and be brought to book? However, there are other private organizations to help fight against domestic violence in Nigeria and also control it. Example is VAP, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. This law was passed in 2015 and it covers issues of sexual abuse, rape, domestic violence and other related crimes, which is only applicable in the FCT Abuja. We also have Protection Against Domestic Violence Law, PADVL. This was passed in 2007 and is only applicable in Lagos State. According to studies, physical violence is when a person hurts or tries to hurt a partner, which includes hitting, kicking, or using another. We have different types of physical force, which are sexual violence, stalking, and psychological aggression. Sexual violence is forcing or attempting to force a partner to take part in sex acts, sexual touching, or non-physical sexual events when a partner doesn't consent to it. Stalking is a pattern of repeated unwanted attention and contact by a partner that causes fear or concerns for one's own safety or the safety of someone close to the victim. Psychological aggression is the use of verbal and non-verbal communication with the intent to harm another partner mentally, emotionally, or to exert control over another partner. It will shock you to know that the various aspects of physical violence is not only applicable to just women, but men as well. No amount of excuses will be reasonable enough for a spouse to abuse the other. Abuse should be addressed across board and irrespective of gender, because violence against men and women is injustice to all. Speaking on this, how can you really identify one undergoing domestic violence? According to William Moore, he highlighted some points, which are excuses for injuries, personality changes like low self-esteem in someone who was always confident, constantly checking in with their partner, never having money on hand, overly worried by presenter partner, skipping out on work, school, or social outing for no clear reason, wearing clothes that don't fit in the season, like long sleeve in summer to cover bruises. Now, what are those red flags you as a person need to know when such abuse tends to take place? They are being scared of your partner over every little thing, being scared to express yourself. You think your opinion doesn't always count, or say no to sex. No matter the reason, fear has no place in a healthy relationship. If you feel like you are being abused, please take a step from that friendship, relationship, marriage, or talk to someone. It's not worth dying for. You are special. Always keep that in mind.